Sure.
Yeah.
But Mark does a nice job, I think, in framing the music, giving you
I do
little
too.
tidbits of info and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I could interview you about the goat all day.
Yes.
But what about this event? Why is this an important event for the Chamber?
Well, this event is kind of our flagship for giving access and influence to our members for the legislature, because we invite all the legislators over here. Many of them, if you watch the relationships that have built over the years from people who have come here, been part of this for the last 10 years we've been here. So it's kind of a almost old home week and alumni week in ways. And then this year we've got a lot of new people, so it's very exciting.
We do have a lot of new people.
Yes, we do.
What's helped to turn that corner? Why are people
Well,
more
I think
interested?
people are very excited about the changes that have occurred during the election season. There's a lot of new and exciting things going on, and I think that also there's an ownership over government right now that's happening. And our leadership class in particular has a whole government day, and then they come in and they actually get to experience this. So we really encourage them to come and ride the bus and do. So I think we've got about 13 or 15 leadership class members here tonight. So that's pretty exciting.
I met one of them on the bus.
Oh,
Aaron.
good,
Yes.
good.
Do you have a single brief takeaway? What do you take away from this event?
What do I personally take away?
Yes.
Well, I have a lot of fun here because I've got a lot of friends who come over, and we've got, you never know what's going to happen because we've got a lot of people missing, but they're going to be over here in just a few minutes because some meetings are ending that they're going to come over. So sometimes we don't see people until a little later in the evening. It's almost like the Academy Awards or something for me, because when they show up, then it's this huge rush of excitement, and people are really looking forward to seeing them. I think that, and then really realizing that St. Cloud is an important part of our whole state fabric, and that people come over here and want to learn about St. Cloud and meet our chamber members and actually be a part of what's happening in St. Cloud. So that's fun.
Well done.
Yeah.
St. Cloud is an important part of our state fabric. I
Yes,
love that
it
quote.
is. It is.
Well done.
Bah,
Anything else, Jim?
bah. How's
Is that
that?
supposed to be a goat?
That's a goat.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh wait, or is that a sheep?
Well, it's more like a sheep.
What's
but
a goat do?
I can't make that sound.
Nay, no, that's a horse. I can't make a goat sound.
I can't either. I'm not going to try right now.
All right, I
okay,
won't
I'll
either.
try later.
I'll
okay?
research that. Okay.
I have one on the air though.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'll have to listen to that. I'm sure I've heard it.
Yeah.
I'll research it.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Thanks, Teresa. Okay. Seen on the internet.
I'm leaving. Bye.
No, Luke. No, we came over here because of you, Luke.
Hey.
We'd like to do a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
Two for-
Okay. And
get
all
rid
we
of
want to
the
know
wine.
is. Hi, Jody.
Hi.
I'm Al.
Hi, Al.
This is my friend Jim here.
Hi, Jim.
And we're promoting the event, so we want to know, why is it important to be here? Why is it important for you to be here?
You want to go?
He's asking you.
In your business, why is it important for you to be here?
Well, for our business is Feeling Good Minnesota, and we're really focused on creating policies, systems, and environments that support health in our communities. So for us to be here to engage with our decision makers and our policymakers is vital to the work that we do and to ensure that we're getting support from our legislation.
Right. Very nice. I love the way you said vital.
Vital.
That
It
was
is.
good.
It's critical. Thanks.
Okay. You probably can't top that, Luke. You probably can't match that.
It's
But why-
vital. It's vital
Can I
that
drop
I'm
the
here.
mic?
No, I
What about for
came.
your industry? Why is it important for you to be here?
Well, it's not so much that I need to make contact with the different people that are in government. It's more a networking event for me. I felt like it'd be something that I've never done before, and again, it's part of the chamber. It's part of networking, and it's and most of the legislators that are here, I've already met and know and have talked to already. So, yeah.
It's a nice time to hang out on the bus.
That's right, yeah. Hang out on the bus, yeah.
Were you on the bus?
I was on the bus.
Okay, it's a big bus. I didn't see you there.
Yeah, it was. Oh, yeah. Oh, you were on the bus.
I was
yeah.
in the very back.
I was in like the back, middle corner, like not the way back, but kind of in the middle.
Not the way back.
Not the way back.
So if you were to give us one concise sort of takeaway, I'm not sure that it's happened yet, but what would be your takeaway from an event like this?
I would encourage everybody to go. I mean, it's just a casual environment that you can have open conversation and dialogue, and anyone can participate. So I would highly encourage people to attend.
Very good. Okay. Luke, try to say something that sounds about that smart. You've come, I would think, to several of these over the years.
This is my first time.
Is that right?
This is my first time. I came to investigate to see what this was all about. But again, I feel like it was more of a networking event for me because I'm the Vice President of Sales and Marketing. So it's a lot of people here that I've never met before. I haven't seen at other chamber events. So I thought I'd participate. And I think that it would be beneficial for any other chamber member to come to this, even if they didn't have anything to do with the legislature at all or didn't have any concerns. It's just another way to connect with a lot of people that are very influential within the community in St. Cloud. Yeah.
Well, welcome aboard. Nice to see you here.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm okay, and I'm political too.
I'm a politically correct. No, my wife's political. I'm just politically incorrect.
Are you?
And this is Alan F. checking out the radio station here at Television Productions, St. Paul, Minnesota.
But I don't talk like that at all. But thanks for playing. Lisa, I think we're going to talk with you.
I'm gonna go get some.
Greg. All right, fair enough. You got a great beard, though. I love that. Okay.
Oh, I actually have to be a part of this?
Frightening, yeah.
All right.
Because here, I'll make it real easy. Like
Okay.
a concise, a short takeaway. What have you had a conversation at this point in time that something that sticks in your mind that you realize that you didn't when you walked in the door? Something that would be a takeaway that you'll think about on the bus back home. No. Okay. Well, why did you decide to come? How about that?
Okay, I decided to come down here because I've never been to anything like this before, and I don't really usually attend political things, and I thought it would be a good learning experience. So I have met 2 of our legislators, so I guess that's my takeaway. I actually know who they are now. So yeah,
And they know who you are now.
and now they know who I am.
Were you nervous?
No.
Okay, we'll talk about the casual nature of the event.
Okay, it's easy to talk to them. It's like happy hour. Everybody's kind of relaxed and having fun, and I don't feel at all intimidated by them. You and this, I'm a little intimidated by.
No, you got it. You got it right. It's like happy hour.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted. No one has said that yet. That's one of my takeaways from talking with you.
Right.
It's kind of like a happy hour with people that matter.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
You bet.
Well, what was it that caused you to come this first time?
Well, that's a good question. The leadership program is what caused me to come. So,
Are you a part of the leadership program?
I am. I went through the leadership program a couple years ago, and I am the vice chairperson right now. So, yeah, I actually got kind of interested because part of the leadership program involves Government Day, where we get to meet and have a panel of all these elected officials. And what really was fascinating, I think, was none of them are very specific to a party. There's a lot of bipartisan and are really there for the people. They want to improve our community. They want to do what's right by business owners. They want to come and listen. They all are so ready and willing to volunteer for the leadership program and share their knowledge with everybody there. And certainly one of the most, I think, influential parts is knowing that they're just regular people too. They don't know everything, and they love hearing from people. They want to hear viewpoints. They want to hear perspectives. They want to know what's going on and what's important, and what they can influence and how they can help people.
How do you think maybe you've educated someone by being here? One of our lawmakers. What have you said that you think might have made a difference?
Well, that's a good question. I haven't had an opportunity to talk to any of them right now.
Because you keep talking to schleps like me.
I know. Yeah. I'm having too much fun talking to everybody else.
Yeah, right.
Yes, I should focus on the point.
Okay. Well, thank you, April.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. I'm going to slide over here.
Okay.
I think it's more comfortable if I don't go like this.
Yeah, I would agree.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Well, why did you do? Is it also your first
Well,
time?
yes, it's my first time, and I'm with the Chamber Leadership Program as well. And I think today what I feel like I'm taking out of this is how they're just ordinary people as well, and they're willing to listen to us, and they invest their time in our communities and our people, and they're willing to take as a leader of our community. I'm from St. Cloud, April's from St. Cloud, and we can share some things that we might have issues with, and they're willing to listen with us and teach us. And that's what I took out of this is, I can go up to any one of them and ask them a question, and again, it's my first time, so they can educate me as well.
If you do you have a point that you would like to educate one of the lawmakers on, something that you'd like to say? Have you ever thought of it this way?
No, I haven't. Again, this is my first time and an experience that I'm very humbled to be here with. So again, like April, I haven't really had a chance to visit with any of them. But, I think for future and in our communities now, I feel like I can go up to them and say, here's an issue I have, can I address it with you? So I think this is a warm environment, and that if I do have an issue, I feel like I can take it to them now.
That was well said. This is a warm environment.
Warm environment.
That's how it feels.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very good.
It's great. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Uh-huh.
What is your name?
Leslie.
That must be it.
Yes.
Thank
nice
you,
to meet you, Al.
I'm Al.
Thank
This
you.
is Jim here.
Hi, Jim. Nice to meet you.
Nice
Orban
to see you.
Scepter was his idea.
Orban Scepter, yes.
Orban Scepter.
I sent him
that's
an
right.
email.
He
You
did.
think you could brew some of that up?
Well, we're going to work on it.
Give that to Kevin is his name, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that a great name for a dark
Yeah,
beer?
that would be a great name.
Okay. And I get a discount, right?
That's right.
Me and Jim both get a
We'll
discount.
fix you up. You and Jim.
I told him
Okay.
if it's ever tapped, I'm there.
Right on. Yeah. Well, we are here promoting this event. Why was it important for you, Roy, to be able to come here today?
Just to be a little bit more in tune with what's going on at the legislature. There's a lot of contention over Sunday liquor sales. Along with that issue is a very small, unnoticed issue about brew pub distribution. In Minnesota, technically, legally, I cannot distribute my beer like a microbrewery can. But in 37 other states, they can. So that's kind of near and dear to my heart. I'd like to see a level playing field. There's some reasons that it isn't that way. It helps prevent large corporations like Budweiser from coming in, buying up TGI Fridays, for example, and only serving their own beer products and crowding the smaller craft beer distributors out. So I came down to talk to some legislators and some of the folks in St. Cloud Chamber about how we can find a fix for this that keeps the system integrity intact, but yet still allows some of us, there's only 10 of us brew pubs in the state. Yep. Everybody else is a microbrewery.
I'm shocked.
Yep.
Only
you
10.
wouldn't know, but there's only about 10.
Okay.
And but there's got to be a way that we could have our freedom to distribute and still protect business integrity. So the laws that we have in place go back to Prohibition and the issues that were in place before Prohibition. So the laws are quite old, and they need to be opened up and tweaked and improved a little bit.
Do you think that you had some receptivity to your case?
Oh, sure. Yep. Everybody's willing to listen. It's a complex situation. I'm actually going to meet with Jason Bernick next week or the week after. He's kind of on the other side of the aisle from me, but he's a distributor, so he would like to see more freedom in the marketplace, but protect it from the big corporations that would come in and try and crush little independents.
Sure. If you had one concise takeaway from your experience so far, has anything really struck you?
You know what? This is a great event because you can meet a lot of different legislators. You can meet a lot of different business people. You know, our St. Cloud Chamber is extremely diverse, and it's an incredible way to network. And we have so many different opportunities between Chamber Connection, the Chamber lunches, the business after hours, etc. But almost nobody goes to all the events. So if you go to a different event that you're not normally attending, you see a lot of people you don't know. And that's the same thing with this event. There's a lot of business leaders and business owners that are chamber members that aren't necessarily the salespeople, the networking market force that I see at chamber events. So here I'm meeting more with business owners than just business representatives.
Fabulous.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you.
You're good. You're good. You can
All
be
right.
on TV if you want.
Well, we'll see.
He's so good looking, he should be.
I don't know about that.
And can you, and then, because they both look so darn good.
Slow.
like I should be in a parade.
Everybody loves water. Why would water need representation at a place like this?
Well, actually, I just met with our management team today and said I'm going to be down in St. Paul and maybe have an opportunity to talk to a few of our legislators. Any issues that you want me to bring forth, and there were some specific things that they thought were important. For one, the Minnesota DNR is looking very closely at allotments and appropriations as far as water use. And our concern is that whatever decisions are made from a scientific standpoint rather than fear. So there's a lot of questions out there, but I think those questions can be fairly answered with scientific study on what type of appropriation is good for water use in the lines of like irrigation or large users, those type of things. The other thing that is an issue in our industry, in the well drilling industry, because of a lack of better place to put us, is we're often lumped together with types of industries that we have a similarity to but don't really fit well with. And then we're subject to their regulations as well. So if we want our people trained and licensed, there's sometimes some onerous regulations for us to go through that don't apply on how we're going to use the training that we give our people. And so if that could be more specified and catered to our industry, that would benefit us. And so that's something that they also asked me to bring forth to legislators tonight. And then I've got my own personal hot point issues I always like to bring up when I have a chance.
Just as an individual?
As an individual, absolutely.
Good point. So some of it's business, some of it is gym.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
And some of it is fun. That's why we come.
Exactly. Well
Yep.
said. Takeaway, something that you've experienced. It might have been on the bus, it might have been here. What will you take away that you've experienced so far?
Well, actually, I didn't have a chance to be on the bus as I had that meeting with my management team at Trout today. That took up much of the day and didn't allow me to take the bus, but I felt it important enough to be here that I zipped down on my own and was able to make it about the same time. And the takeaway that I have so far is that I'm amazed at the different types of people that are here to mingle and meet with the legislatures and meet each other and exchange ideas. And just that kind of gathering is always productive.
That's right. Someone said earlier, it's sort of like happy hour with your representatives.
There you go.
Not bad, huh?
Happier yet.
Well done. Thank you. Sometimes I do.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I think that was more of a diss on him than me.
Right.
I do pay attention. You're on. Okay.
He can't hear us, so.
The upcoming trip to Washington, what is this about?
Every year the Chamber takes a delegation out to Washington, D.C., and we meet with every Minnesota elected official that's out there. And it gives businesses an opportunity to, especially those issues that affect them at the federal level, it gives them the opportunity to express how these particular bills impact their business, how they'd like to see the senators or the congressional folks vote. But it's a great networking opportunity. Last year was the largest group we ever took. I think we had 22. In fact, I think we've already surpassed that this year. So we're going to have a great delegation going this year.
Fabulous. I remember now, yes, you spoke just as eloquently as that in the previous video from last year, and that's what we used to promote this event.
Very good.
And their attendance, they're very happy with their attendance, so you did a great job.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
What is your profession? What is something that you're invested in that needs the legislative connection?
Well, from a regulated standpoint, our industry is heavily regulated, both whether it's local, county, state, federal, it doesn't matter. Everyone seems to have a piece of the pie in the energy industry. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying there are many bills at all levels that have an impact on our business, and we have to be watchdogs and follow these bills and find out how they impact and be able to influence that legislation. So we do have a couple of internal lobbyists out in Washington, D.C. that follow the bills and interact with the federal elected officials on our behalf. And we do have a team here in St. Paul that actually works very closely. They're at the Capitol, obviously, this time of the year every day, interacting. Give you one kind of odd example. There's a wireless company, I'm not going to figure it out, but they have legislation out there that they're trying to get to remove cities' ability to restrict them where they can put their little mini cell towers in town. They want to be able to put them on any public structure, on any power pole. Obviously, that impacts us. We generally don't allow what we call foreign attachments on our poles for a variety of reasons. Safety is the primary driver. But that legislation, while you really wouldn't think impacted us, does. And our people have to follow that and be able to provide input on this is why it's good, this is why it's not good. How can we influence to change it so we find it acceptable?
Now, in that case, a team of lobbyists could be quite effective. But don't you think for an event like this, it gives a different, fresh voice to the lawmakers? Because they're common people that work at their job, their business, whatever that might happen to be.
Right, yeah, especially the state, local elected officials like here. Yeah, these are, a lot of them are small business owners. We're small business owners, perhaps they're retired. Yes, you can get a very personal one-on-one connection with them. That's why it makes these events so important. We're working very hard right now on legislation to allow us to build a natural gas power plant, combined cycle plant, at our Sherco site in Becker as part of our replacement strategy when we retire units 1 and 2 there. Our plan is to add about 1,500 megawatts of wind, solar, energy efficiency, as well as this gas plant. It's part of the solution to reducing our carbon and getting us to a 60% carbon-free future. And that legislation is very important to us, and that's one of the reasons I'm here today is networking with those legislators, trying to win their approval.
Fabulous. You're good.
Thank you.
Do you have one brief takeaway? You personally, what might you take away from this event?
Tonight?
Yeah.
Tonight, it really is the networking, not only with the legislators, but it's also just with the other businesses. St. Cloud, the mayor is here. The Sartell mayor is here. There's lots of business people here. Sometimes I get questions in our industry because we are so large. People sometimes, hey, why is it this way? Why is it that way? It gives me an opportunity to explain Xcel's position on things and hopefully help people understand why we do what we do. It's complicated. It's complicated business.
Yeah. Very good.
Thank you.
Did you get
not even behind a microphone? So
well, it's right here. Well, you mean you don't?
I always say this is what I used to be a journalist for 13 years.
Okay.
And I would always make the joke that I have a face for radio. And a voice for print.
Okay.
So yeah. So I hate cameras.
Taking it a level deeper. Well, what you do is you look at me. Okay?
All right. Very good.
I'm just going to talk to you. Why was it important for you to come here?
Well, as a new person in sort of business in St. Cloud, I thought that this would be a great opportunity just to meet other people and network.
So are you here as much for the other business people as you
as
are
I am
for
the legislators? Yes.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
That's an interesting point of view.
Yeah.
Okay. Has it been fun so far?
Oh, it's been great. Yeah.
What's been your favorite part?
I think just meeting people that I haven't normally met in my regular course of the day. So yeah.
Are there any issues in broadcasting that are particularly on your mind that you would like, if you had given the opportunity to talk to a lawmaker, what would you say?
Yeah, well, actually with Spirit 92.9, we're having some issues with encroachment of our signal as it gets close to the Twin Cities. So we have listeners who are telling us that they used to be able to receive our signal further down 94, and so they've been actually working with the FCC and communicating with the FCC about that issue. And so we've been trying to encourage listeners to let legislators and others know, just so they can continue to receive the signal.
As I'm going through the Rolodex of my mind, I don't think it's any of our stations, right?
No.
We're okay.
No.
Thank God. Seriously. Okay. And now you get to talk to a nice gal like this, Tanya.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like Tanja. You want to straighten out your...
Yeah, it is pronounced Tanya, but it is the German spelling of Tanya, so it has the J.
Okay,
so
very nice.
We have no German heritage in St. Cloud.
You're just a mess, but you look nice.
Thank you.
Okay, with ProStaff.
Thank you. Yeah,
Okay,
so we're staffing.
So let's say I don't know anything about ProStaff. What is
Okay.
it that what type of staffing is it?
Well, we do staffing and recruiting, and it's primarily for the administrative and light industrial sector, so manufacturing, any professional office and administrative type position, as well as direct hire for more professional office managerial, accounting, IT, engineering and technology positions.
Okay.
So,
well, what would be an issue then that, given the opportunity to talk to one of the legislators about your industry, what would be an issue that you would say, hey, have you ever thought of it this way?
yeah. Well, I think in today's world, as people are leaving the workforce in record numbers, retiring, I think it's making the environment such that all of those that are capable to work are entering the workforce. I think that there are some government policies that are not incentivizing people who are capable of working to actually participate in the workforce. Our unemployment numbers aren't 100% representative of those individuals that are capable of working that are choosing not to, because we have government policies in place that are enabling them to survive and thrive without having to participate in workforce. That's one small part of it, and another large part of it is eliminating that skills gap that we're seeing, particularly with manufacturing, skilled and technology trades, the STEM professions. We're seeing we tend to have this methodology that we're steering children into four-year college degrees, which is, yes, important, but we also have a lot of viable, very wonderful careers in the manufacturing sector that don't require a four-year degree. So it's changing the messaging with some of these careers to get individuals to participate in maybe more of a skills and technology-based education rather than the four-year degree. We certainly have students that are talented in both sectors of the arena, but it's not a one-size-fits-all. And I think our past has dictated us to send our students down one road, and there's multiple options. We have very viable careers with manufacturers that pay very, very well. And manufacturing and technology today is not what it used to be 20 years ago. And so it's changing that messaging and getting people into the workforce. Our trades professions are really suffering in backfilling those careers, as well as our healthcare, technology, nursing, all of those careers as well. We're facing unprecedented shortages. So it's talking about how to get individuals into those careers and professions, and what kind of policies can we incentivize individuals to get into that workforce.
Well said.
Thank you.
Even as a college-educated person, and someone who was at one time a college professor, I'm talking about myself.
Yeah, okay.
There's nothing sadder than a kid in college that doesn't want to be there and doesn't belong there.
Exactly. And I think that, I think you and I grew up in an era where our parents, and I know for myself as well, I didn't have a choice. I was to go to a four-year college. I was one of the first in my family to get a four-year college degree. Those times have changed. That degree, that four-year degree that we had, 25, 30 years ago, means very different things today. And if we're not more specialized and more prudent about how we're focusing on our education today, we're not able to put that into practice into a viable career. Yeah.
Now, how about you, Tanya? What has been your favorite part of the event that you've experienced today?
Oh, I think that in central Minnesota, we are so fortunate to have such a vibrant chamber. I have talked to many individuals in other chambers throughout the state as well as the nation. We have such an engaging chamber that is conducive to such extraordinary networking opportunities and opportunities to grow our businesses in ways that are just immeasurable. From networking opportunities to education opportunities, we have one of the most vibrant chambers in the nation. I have a number of people in my network that are employed throughout the nation, Fortune 500 companies in large metropolitan areas that do not have the engagement and participation that we in the St. Cloud Chamber of Commerce have. We are blessed right in our backyard to have training opportunities, networking opportunities, as well as a chamber leadership that is incredibly passionate to continuing to build and advocate for businesses in central Minnesota. We're incredibly fortunate.
And we have a lot of fun.
And we have a lot of fun. And we're also blessed in the aspect that we have legislators from our area are incredibly accessible. So you can call them, you can talk with them, they will listen to you. And you know what, if you don't participate and if you don't speak up, you're not heard. And so if you don't participate in our democracy, you're not heard. So yeah.
Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah,
You're very good.
Oh.
Yeah, you're really good at that.
I feel like I babble.
Yep.
Jim and I have met.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And
That's right. That's
how
my
do you pronounce your last name?
Senjum. If you can't burn them, Senjum.
You can't burn them, send them. Okay. Well, now you are the first person that I've spoken to today from your side of the fence of this event. What has been the most beneficial part to you as a representative?
Well, I think from the standpoint, and I'm from Rochester, so as communities do this, I think it's just really important that we get over here, that we hear what the issues are within the communities of greater Minnesota, be it St. Cloud or anywhere else. But it's a chance that we get an opportunity. We really get to touch bases with a local community, whether the leaders or not, that's a big word, but people from the community that care about their community, that have aspirations from the community, and we ought to know about them as legislators. And so this little venue gives us that opportunity, and it's really so good. I appreciate the citizens of St. Cloud to do this.
I'm going to try to fish for something that I'm looking for. There's lobbyists all over the place in your world, like
Sure.
lobbyists that have their position. They're well schooled. They articulate their positions quite well. How about the fresh voice that you get from an event like this? The
lobbyists. They're hired guns. We know that as they walk into the office, and they have a legitimate purpose in state government, national government. But there is nothing more refreshing, more real, more true than a person from St. Cloud or Rochester, I don't care where, walking in your office and on their own volition and telling you what is important to them, what they need to make their community better.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's just so genuine, so if you will, natural and true. It's the believable part of state government.
Oh, that's a resonant phrase. The believable part of state government. I love that. What's been your favorite conversation that you've had so far this evening? Something that sticks in your mind?
Well, I heard about some issues related to the Metro bus system in St. Cloud, and expanding that a little bit. I heard, the airport expansion we have in the bonding bill. We're going to do that. Housing is important to some people in this audience. We need to do that. So you get the whole menu of issues that maybe affect almost every community like St. Cloud. But so it's not unnatural, but it's good again to hear from the people back home, because these are the people that make St. Cloud and the surrounding area happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
One more thing. I would have to say that as you look around, you have to be impressed with the level of engagement and participation that we have been able to bring together tonight.
Oh yeah, as we say, there's a lot of hum, there's a lot of buzz in this room. Everybody's talking to each other, everybody's enjoying the evening, but frankly, behind it all, there's some productive things happening in this room tonight, and that's good for us. It's good for the city of St. Cloud and the surrounding area.
Outstanding.
Good.
Do you have my name is Al. I'm just fine.
All right.
My friend Jim here. You might have met Jim before.
I know Jim. Yep.
Okay. So let's see. I'm going to approach it from. I'm going to ask you a question that I asked your colleague just a moment ago. You must talk with lobbyists all the time. People that have a certain point of view. They're hired guns. They are very articulate and persuasive. That's what they're meant to be. What's the advantage to having people like this? It must be a different voice.
Well, it is. I mean, I think here you get people who really are working in the day-to-day world, creating jobs, helping our community, and it's, I think, in many ways more useful to listen to their viewpoints than to listen to some hired gun.
Has there been a particular point of view or an idea that you've been able to hear tonight that sticks in your mind?
Oh, in my case, I'm just visiting with a lot of the people here. I mean, I talked to the representative of the hospital about some healthcare issues that I had some questions on that I was able to get some information on. And, I've talked about transportation and a variety of things. I don't know that there's any one great idea, but it helps me to hear their input.
I would think, though, that in the sort of endless stream of meetings and conferences and lobbyists and colleagues, that sometimes it can all just stir around, and then every once in a while you have a glimmer from the outside, and you say, wow, I never heard that before.
Oh, yeah, that happens. And, it's great to have everyone from St. Cloud come down here. I mean, one of the things that's good is not so much for me, who's from St. Cloud, who talk to a lot of these people regularly, but the chance for me to bring some of my colleagues in and for people to meet them and for them to hear about the needs St. Cloud has and what concerns are in central Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And so that, I think, in many ways is the most valuable thing.
Okay. How about you individually, as just a person? What is it that draws you to this event? As I understand you, you're not required to be here, or are you?
Oh, well, I'm not required, but I'm from St. Cloud. I represent St. Cloud. It would be a bad deal if I didn't show up here.
I suppose so. But what's your incentive to come here?
Oh, I mean, to see a lot of the people that I represent, to hear what they're hearing, hear what their concerns are, be able to listen to them.
And have you had a good time?
Oh, very much so.
What's been your favorite part? Just give me that. What's the favorite episode that you've had throughout the experience today?
Oh, I don't know. Visiting with people that I know.
Okay, fair enough. Jim, do we have what we need there? Seeing you. Oh, okay. What area on Jim's videos?
Oh, absolutely.
Hi, Jason. My name is Al.
Al, good to meet you.
You as well. So I'm trying to be original with my questions, even though for you they'll be the first time.
Okay.
Why are you here? How about that?
Oh, I'm here to meet and greet with the legislature. I think it's important to really build that relationship with the public officials, so that when there is a need in the business world, to contact them because some sort of issue is coming up in the legislature. It's important to really know why, or to know who to contact, and that they know who I am, so that I can express my concerns about the issue that's going on.
They knew you as a person, not just a guy with a problem.
The name with the face, it means so much. It means so much. So, yeah, I might not have all the issues that are going on and coming up in the issue in the legislature today, but as they do come up, I have that relationship. Plus, I'm giving them background on a lot of what our business does, the jobs we provide, and what kind of a quality community member we are. And that means a lot to them, too, to understand who we are as a business and how we fit in the community.
Have you had a particular experience with the event? Maybe it was even coming here today on the bus. I don't know, but what's the experience that you would take away?
Well, I've met with 6 or 7 legislators already, and we're not done yet tonight. And it's really neat that I'm meeting with legislators from all over the state of Minnesota. So it's important to build those relationships. Yeah, I get to see the ones that affect our local community in the St. Cloud area, but I also get to reach out to some that are way in the far reaches of the state, like southwest corner, that they have effects on legislation that passes the entire Senate and the House. So it's important to be able to represent our issues across the whole state. There's 201 legislators. St. Cloud is affected by 4 or 6 of them. So it's important to have the relationship with everybody, or as many as you can.
We want you to talk about the Washington trip.
Oh, okay, great. On the Washington trip as well. We talked to Mark a little bit earlier about that. Well, why is the Washington trip important in its own way?
The Washington, D.C. trip, I think that is so important because our members of Congress are elected and put in place, and it's their job to listen to the people. It's their job to vote and represent us, the people. And if we just let them we just let them to do what they want to do or what they think if we don't tell them what we want, then they're thinking whatever it is we're doing is great. Well, then it's our own fault that if they do something that isn't consistent with what we want. It's important for us to represent, to do our job and express our concerns to them as citizens, okay, as a business, yes, and as a citizen, yes. Because it's, for the Chamber of Commerce, yes, we're business people, but I think it's so important for everyone to make a trip at some point and visit with your representative, your senator, and get to know them, meet them, and they will meet with you. They love to hear from the citizens and their constituents. They want to hear from you, and it's important for us to do our part because if they're listening, they're doing their job, and it's our fault if we're not speaking.
Well said.
Yeah.
I agree.
Thank
That's
you.
what democracy is supposed to be about, right?
That is exactly what it's about.
And they're real people too.
And they are, yeah. You get so intimidated by members of Congress that they're some big high authority, and you get afraid to meet with them. It just seems intimidating. They're not. We get invited to Amy Klobuchar's office, and we sit down with her, and she is so welcoming. And she gets to know everybody. She does introductions around the room, and she knows who you are. By the end of the meeting, you feel like she knows who I am, what industry I'm in, and she has a conversation about cross-talking with the different industries and the different businesses and tying the conversation all together. It's really impressive that you have somebody that's that willing to engage the constituents of our state of Minnesota.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Helps us to get rid of the D or the R behind a person's name. Right?
I think it's so important that we get to know everybody, whether they're D or R behind their name. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And your uncle, Jim's video of your uncle showing off his cars. What a lovely guy.
Oh, he's a wonderful guy. Yeah. He's so full of energy and the antique cars. He's just magnificent. So it's really fun to have him as an uncle. Yeah.
I haven't met him yet, but he is an elegant man. I really hope I get to meet him.
Oh, so passionate with everything. He's just a charmer, and it's so neat to see the collection and the history behind all of this stuff. It's so important, and it's not only the history behind the old cars, but he gets behind who the people are behind the cars, and the inventor from Pan Cars, Sam Pandolfo. He's not only passionate about the cars, he's so passionate about Sam Pandolfo that he had his remains. He worked with the family members, the descendants of Sam Pandolfo, to have his remains removed from Alaska, where it really didn't mean anything. That happened to be where he died. Had no tombstone, no marker at his grave. and it really didn't mean anything. He paid for it, worked with the family, and brought his remains, his ashes, to be buried close to home, where he really made the most impact in the United States. And it was really neat to see that he belongs here, and his family felt he belonged here, and my uncle was instrumental in bringing him here, where he really belongs.
I had no idea. Even
really
cooler
fun.
than I thought.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. All right, thanks
Thanks
you.
so
It was
much,
great
Al.
to meet you.
Yeah.
Okay, cheers. Not on camera yet. My name is Al. Nice to meet you. It's my buddy Jim here. And we're just documenting the event, and some of it will be used for promotion and some of it for posterity.
Okay.
Right? So
It would be an easy question.
it is.
Softball meet.
What's been the most fun you've had so
Real
far
quick,
tonight?
should I look there or here?
At me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know, it's just great fun to get together with everyone. And it's so nice for us as legislators to have people coming down to visit us because we don't always get home all the time. And so to have a little bit of home down here in St. Paul is always great.
I like that, a resonant phrase. A little bit of home down here in St. Paul.
Yes.
That's good. You ever used that before?
No.
I believe you. I believe you. So I was thinking that for people on your side, that you must talk to lobbyists all the time because that's part of the job. But you sort of get a fresh voice with an event like this, right?
Oh, absolutely. And you get in touch. You get back in touch with the people from home, and you understand what's going on there and what's important to them. And now that we're kind of into session, we're hearing about what kind of bills are coming, what the budget's going to be, and so they're able to give their input tonight.
Have you had someone that has said something to you, one of the business leaders that we have here tonight, that has stuck in your mind, something that you had not heard in quite that way before? That's a tougher question, but
yeah, no, I haven't. I'm just trying to think what we've been talking about.
The thing is, like in your position, you're probably quite well informed on lots of different issues, but there must be a time when you're talking with Joe Sixpack or whoever that is, and they say something, you go, wow, I never really put it in my mind quite that way.
Well, and there are always things that do surprise you. You kind of go, okay, that's a good way to think of something, or I hadn't thought of it that way. So yeah, there always are things like that. And, an evening like this, there's just lots of things being brought to our attention. So it's very good that we're here talking with folks, and they always have something to tell us, I think.
What's been your personal takeaway? You as Michelle, as a person, what do you enjoy most about this kind of event?
I really do just enjoy talking to folks and having fun. It's an evening, it's relaxed. It's not like we're at the Capitol in tents and trying to get from meeting to meeting. It's just really pleasant to have some time and actually have a whole conversation.
I had one gal say it's sort of like having happy hour with your lawmakers. And I'm like, that's pretty good.
There you go. You should bill it as that next year.
So let's do that promo. Hi, this is. Go ahead. Please join us for happy hour with the lawmakers.
Oh, there you go. Please join us for happy hour with the lawmakers.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hi, Doug. I'm Al, and this is Jim.
Good choice.
Well, perhaps the two of you could be in together.
See?
Yeah.
Okay with that.
She's an up-and-comer in your company. Now, you're going to have to educate me because I don't really know anything about Blattner Energy. What is it that you do?
Well, we're a national wind and solar installer around the nation. We're in Avon. We've been there for probably 50 years. We're a 110-year-old company. Yeah, still privately held.
Okay.
But our customers are all private, and we used to do a variety of things many years ago, but now we just do strictly energy-related. Transmission work, solar, and wind.
Okay. I just saw a really cool news report about Insight Brewery in the Twin Cities. They're going to power the brewery with wind. With solar. I'm sorry, with solar.
Yeah, they can do either. A lot of clients, a lot of our projects we build now are corporate buyers of all the power. The Amazons, the Google, the Walmart, all that's all privately contracted power now. The big corporations are really getting on board with renewable and going direct and getting their own. So it's pretty interesting.
So rather than regulations or policies, do you think that the marketplace will drive the emergence of that type of energy? Is that what we're
absolutely. The price point on wind and solar in comparison to fossil fuel is lower. So economics alone, and you can look at climate change for free. But the economics alone will continue to be a bigger and bigger driver. We can't stand completely on our own, but by the end of 2020, that's when the tax credits are designed to phase out, and the industry will be in a perfect position to move along economically on its own merits of clean energy and low cost.
Okay. Well, when you speak with lawmakers at an event like this, do you talk about the other side of it, the policy decisions and the regulations that might have held the industry back in the past? Or do you have confidence that economics alone will get it moving the way it should?
No, we do try and help them because there's things that, for instance, the state of Minnesota can do in advance. If it's inevitable that renewables are going to be a prominent position because of economics, there's things that the state of Minnesota can do to advertise to businesses who are going to be in the renewable business that this is a place that they believe in renewables. And they can tell by signaling policies that we're going to build 30% of our power by 2030 or 40% or 50%. I mean, Minnesota has done that in the past, and it has led to a big increase in jobs and opportunities for companies inside Minnesota. Right. Now, we'd like to see them do it again because at the end of the day, it costs nothing, but it benefits a lot because the economics are coming anyway, but you can get a jump on the jobs when those who are looking to build jobs are looking for places, where should I put my business? Right. And you tell them that how the state feels, and they come in early. They come here instead of going to Iowa. There's thousands and thousands of manufacturing jobs in Iowa right now that weren't there back when Minnesota first considered raising the RPS. And we hesitated for a few years.
You're going to have to define that for me, RPS.
The renewable portfolio standard that we have in the state. We hesitated here for a few years while these key companies were looking for places to build. And they built just across the border in Iowa. And those are the kind of things that are opportunities that I'd like to see the state of Minnesota be looking forward in advance and try and get what's the most we can from Minnesota.
We certainly wouldn't want to think that Iowa is more progressive than we are.
We wouldn't want that. We got to be careful about that.
That's right. What about you as an individual? Why is it worth it for you to be here? What's your takeaway of this event?
On this event?
Yes.
Well, it is an opportunity to remind the legislators that we are a local business. We're a Minnesota business. We have many of their constituents who work for us. We have thousands of employees across the country. We have hundreds of employees in Minnesota. And they really care about whether or not their legislator is involved in what they do for a living. They look at climate as a bigger picture. They know the prices and the competitiveness of us, and so they're pretty sensitive to when decisions are made in a direction that's counter to what they believe is best for the state. So we like to invite the legislators to come to our office. We have a new office. It's really efficient. It's a platinum level building. We like to invite them. I think our employees like to hear that they're coming. They like to see them there. They like, even if they don't get to meet them, they like knowing that their legislator stopped in and talked to the leadership of this company. And so I'm here to try and encourage them to do that.
Right. And don't you think it's nice that we were invited here?
Yes.
I mean, and everybody that I've talked to from that side of the I don't want to call it a fence, that side of the bar, they're really glad to see real people.
Yes, yes. I think it's a mutual situation here for them and us.
Like our perspective in an environment like this is sort of a fresh voice.
Yeah.
So what's the most fun you've had so far?
Well,
I mean, not in your life, but in this.
No, tonight.
Right.
No, I met a lot of interesting people. You know, we don't do as much business as you might think with central Minnesota businesses. I mean, we buy a lot of local that we can, but because we're national, there are some things that are best positioned out in various states. But when we come here, it's surprising as to how many other businesses in central Minnesota can offer us something that we can incorporate and buy here instead of going out. So the more we get involved with the chamber, it's really been a positive thing. And we've been really only involved in the chamber probably for 5 or 6 years, even though we've been in St. Cloud forever. And that's been unfortunate. So Teresa's done a great job of bringing us in. Plus, the chamber's a great place to get access to politicians. And so you never want to pass up that opportunity. So it's a mutually benefit item. I hope Blattner is benefiting St. Cloud Chamber.
I'm sure that they are, because Gail Ivers pointed me specifically toward you.
No.
Right. So you're probably a star and you don't even know it.
No, I doubt that. Okay. I doubt that.
Well, I appreciate your time, Doug.
No, you're welcome.
Thanks for your statements. They were very good.
Yep.
105?
110.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell I've been. Well, I moved to Colorado for 12 years, so I'll excuse myself that way. All right, well, I will find out more.
Come out to Avon.
Really?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I will.
Look me up. I'll give you a card.
Okay.
I'll give you a tour.
All right, thank you.
Great building.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Why you have been chosen by my friend Jim for a special spotlight, but apparently I'm supposed to talk to you.
I guess so.
What do you do? Why do you have such a great name badge?
Well, I work for the Greater St. Cloud Development Corporation, so we're all about promoting the Greater St. Cloud region for business development and talent recruitment.
What is the association with the chamber?
We're really strong partners and allies in doing business development work. We're all about keeping our existing businesses healthy, vibrant, and growing. And so working together on legislative platforms is a good part of what we do. So we work together on trying to advance transportation investment and lots of other opportunities.
Are you based in St. Cloud?
We are.
That's where you do your work.
Right.
You personally. Okay.
Right. So our office is located in downtown St. Cloud, and we've been in existence for about 6 years now. And we promote and lead regional economic development efforts on behalf of the region. And we do that from a business-centric standpoint, so we're the voice of business and advocacy on behalf of business, and we do it in strong partnership with our chamber.
Great, the voice of business. I like that. That's a good resonant phrase.
Yeah.
I'm going to excuse my ignorance in that I lived in St. Cloud for quite some time, but then I moved to Colorado. So I was in Colorado when this came into existence.
Right.
And I currently live in St. Paul, but I spend some time in St. Cloud working with Jim and for a local radio station.
Yeah, so, we were an organization that was created really out of an effort to get the business community and business leaders more actively engaged in business development. And so there was an organization that existed before us called the Economic Development Partnership. It had been in place for about 25 years.
I remember that.
But over the course of time, it became much more focused on public policy issues. Its funding source was more reliant on public sector funding, and that made it quite a bit more volatile. And so there came a time where our business and community leaders said, you know what, we think there's probably a better way to do business and development. And maybe it's time for business executives to get more engaged in that work. And so that led to the creation of the Greater St. Cloud Development Corporation.
Great. Now, for you personally, what do you think is the greatest benefit that can come from an event like this?
Relationships, communication, information sharing, both amongst businesses and interest community leaders, but also with our state legislative people, helping them understand what our needs are. And they're all down here really to make this a better state and a better place for people to live, work, and engage. We're trying to make that happen for our region, and so this is a great opportunity to forge those working relationships.
You're good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. What's been the funnest thing that's happened in the event tonight? Is there something that stands out?
Oh, it's really reconnecting with so many people that we do have those working relationships with. I think that's both folks from our region, but also those legislative leaders.
So you've had fun.
I've had a great time.
Okay, wonderful.
All right.
Well, very nice.